What's your job?
My job is to sanitize, make sure the rooms are, I really take care of the house. I keep this house clean and sanitized. I look forward to coming in every day. The first 30 days, I think I worked 20 straight days. I did. I worked 20 straight days because I wanted to see them get better and better. And it just made my day. As I go into a patient room, I introduce myself. I try to get their attention. I say, "Good morning, sunshine." I do, I really do. The first 30 seconds, walking into that very first room, I was a little nervous. I felt like a messenger to let them know that you got this. You're in good hands, and we're gonna do the best we can to see you through this. It made me feel powerful. I feel like I say, an angel. It keeps me going and going and going and going. I love what I do. And I feel like it was my calling. I also take care of my nurses because their job is to save lives, and my job is to save their lives by sanitizing, keeping things clean and in order for them.
I love who I am, a person that teaches like a university, growing through my own while I help you face adversity, finding out what works for me. As I do, I share with you, changing your perceptions. Now everything works for you. Can I motivate you? Can I show you what I'm learning? Can I share with you my thoughts? As far as life is concerning, we are alive. My intentions are for us to thrive. I can never hate you. All I want to do is motivate you. We are alive. My intentions are for us to thrive. I can never hate you. All I want to do is motivate you. All I want to do is motivate you. Help you stay focused so you can see your way through. Closer to your goals as everything unfolds, and you will find success in the visions that you hold.
What's your job?
My job is to sanitize, make sure the rooms are, I really take care of the house. I keep this house clean and sanitized. I look forward to coming in every day. The first 30 days, I think I worked 20 straight days. I did. I worked 20 straight days because I wanted to see them get better and better. And it just made my day. As I go into a patient room, I introduce myself. I try to get their attention. I say, "Good morning, sunshine." I do, I really do. The first 30 seconds, walking into that very first room, I was a little nervous. I felt like a messenger to let them know that you got this. You're in good hands, and we're gonna do the best we can to see you through this. It made me feel powerful. I feel like I say, an angel. It keeps me going and going and going and going. I love what I do. And I feel like it was my calling. I also take care of my nurses because their job is to save lives, and my job is to save their lives by sanitizing, keeping things clean and in order for them.
I love who I am. A person that teaches like a university, growing through my own while I help you face adversity. Finding out what works for me. As I do, I share with you. Changing your perceptions, now everything works for you. Can I motivate you? Can I show you what I'm learning? Can I share with you my thoughts? As far as life is concerning. We are alive. My intentions are for us to thrive. I can never hate you. All I want to do is motivate you. We are alive. My intentions are for us to thrive. I can never hate you. All I want to do is motivate you. All I want to do is motivate you. Help you stay focused so you can see your way through. Closer to your goals as everything unfolds. And you will find success in the visions that you hold.
Hello, everybody. Man, I just love that bit there. Welcome. My name is Hakeem. And I hope you guys can hear me. I have our guest, Loot Bryon Smith. Testing. You can hear me good? Yes. And I can fix that when I give everybody 30 seconds. But I am so happy that we are meeting with Loot again. So, Front Room Chat. Front Room Chat was birthed from, oh gosh, I got to do something where I don't have to tell this story all the time. But just chatting with people from my front room. And Loot is a gifted music artist, motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, and just awesome, a master at his craft, and is known all over the world. So I want him to come back, and we're going to give you 30 seconds. We're live. First of all, YouTube, Hakim.guru. Go straight to my YouTube. We're live right now, streaming YouTube. And anyone that can get YouTube, just go to Hakim.guru, go straight there. You don't have to search for me all over YouTube at all. And we are live on Twitch. We're live Periscope. We're not live Instagram. Just forgive us. We're working on it. And we are live Facebook, One Universal Consciousness Facebook group. We're live there. Oh my God. I can't wait. Let's just go. We're going to give you guys 30 seconds to invite people, share it, and we'll be right back with Loot Bryon Smith. God bless you guys. Sir, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How you doing, Hakeem?
Good. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate being here with you again and having an amazing day. Just winding down at the end of my day, but feeling great. I want to thank everybody who's here joining in and those who watch later.
We're just having fun, you know.
Oh yeah, nice dialogue, just stimulating, elevating conversations.
And
Feel.
we're living our dreams.
Absolutely. And a lot of people don't realize that. Like, we're living our dream right now, right here, right now. Like we said before, right here, right now is all it is. All there ever is. Everything else just exists in memory or anticipation, you know.
always looking for something to make us a better version.
Yes. And that right there, that leads me to something I just created. I just had a fashion designer. She wants to remain anonymous, but I created a song for her to play while she has her models go down the runway during Fashion Week. And if they have it this year, and I believe it's France. I hope I'm not mistaken. It's either Paris. Yeah, I think it's there the week of February 21st or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a fashion designer, and that leads that what you just said reminded me of that, because there's a pro and a con to that. Always looking for something to make us better. We have to be very careful, especially when we're looking for outside things that we attach ourselves to create this identity for us. Like I created this song entitled Fashion Week, but at the same time, within the write-up of the video, I even say, fashion is just an expression of somebody's creativity, which it's not a bad thing. But at the same time, the way they commercialize fashion and the way we buy into it, especially here in Western culture, it capitalizes on people's insecurities, that you're not quite the person that you can be unless you buy this product, unless you wear this makeup, have this purse, and we have to be very careful with that. It's nothing wrong with buying latest fashions and things like that, but just be careful that you don't allow that to be your identity, that you don't feel a certain way unless you have this high-end product. You have to, the only sustained happiness and self-esteem that you will have is just from your own self. It's not what you're wearing or anything like that. But, in today's movies, a lot of today's movies and media and music videos, we're constantly being bombarded with these images that we have to try to keep up to be like in fashion, in cars, and the type of houses. And if you really think about it, all that's far beyond necessities. It's always good to have goals and to want things, but just be careful that you don't allow those things that you want to become compulsive, obsessive, and you don't have an identity of who you are without those things. And we just have to be aware of that. And being aware of that, that's the first step. Just knowing that, okay, now I'm aware, okay, I want to buy this item, but I'm aware that, that this doesn't make me who I am. And it is human nature that when we get things, especially being exposed to a lot of the information we've been exposed to, since childhood, if we watch television or just being in society, especially here, like I said, in Western culture, that we feel good if we get a certain product, we're wearing a certain thing or driving a certain car. It makes us feel and act differently,
Can you stay there for one moment?
Yes, sir.
There's people watching right now that were wearing their job titles like they were wearing that Gucci belt.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Wearing their spiritual people that has any type of anything like around what I'm doing.
Yes.
And egos are psychological. They're just ideas of ourselves. So where we feel like we're not alive, ego-wise, identifying with something that makes us better over here, so we'll move over there. In other words, some people are in relationships right now and they're dominating that relationship because they can't dominate at work.
Yes.
So it's the same type of like fix. Like
Yes.
I have to feel better than I feel at the expense of something outside of myself.
Yes. And we just have to realize that line with, we can find information. Of course, we're finding it outside of ourselves to help us reach towards our higher self, or to make us a better person. But ultimately, it's all looking from within that makes us a better person, evaluating and knowing that we are already perfect spiritual beings. It's just this other things that we've taken on, all this information in society and the crowd that we are influenced by. That's why I was talking to someone the other day about, depending on where you were born, no one's born with a certain accent. We pick that up. So if you're born, in London or in Britain, you're going to speak differently. And it's not because you were born speaking that way. If you were born somewhere else, you're going to pick up the language and the accent of wherever you are. So people that even say that they're not influenced easily, yes, they are. They speak the way they speak because of influence. They do the things that they do every day because of influence. And that's including me as well. I have on this baseball cap, but basketball logo on it on because of what I've seen. I've seen other people have it on, or I've watched the actual sport and I enjoy it. So we're all influenced. It's just that you have to be aware, of how you're being influenced, and do your best to limit the quote unquote negative influences, or it's fine, negative influence, but at least learn from everything and be aware.
Do you know, when we become aware, watching our thoughts, being mindful, the Buddhists speak of being mindful and deep meditation. When we do that, we can see those addictions and patterns and imprints and influences. I'm so simple to dress now. And I had a friend of mine on here named Morgan. She created the sparkle effect. And she would say, oh, when I first met Elijah, he had name brand, leather this, leather that, blah, blah, blah. And I did. But I told myself I loved quality than to keep buying something every 6 months because it's falling apart. So I always invested in something that was probably it cost, but I wasn't particularly fond of having to go buy another pair of shoes again before the year is out. That's the kind. So I would rather invest in the shoe or whatever. So, but at least that's what I told myself.
Yes.
But they didn't have to be Ferragamo. But they were Ferragamo. I'm thinking how the unconscious programs that are running in society, that I could have hunted out handmade shoes that I could have paid a quarter of the price if I was really wanting quality, but I didn't. I would go to Ferragamo. I would go to Gucci.
Sorry, go ahead, Hakeem. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But I don't do that anymore because I don't have an appetite for it.
Yes.
And I can see that I don't think I was under a program, but I just don't have an appetite for it. But perhaps I was under a program. You just never know.
Unconsciously, yes.
Unconscious.
And I wanted to add something to that. It's nothing necessarily wrong with buying fashion if that's what what you want to do. We're all here on earth in our physical form to have choices, and everything came out of the mind. Even those shoes that you were talking about, someone created them in here first. So it's all an extension of someone, but you just have to be careful of why you're getting these certain things. Is it to make you feel better about yourself, or is it to make you feel like you're better than someone else, or to show off your wealth, or it's okay to be proud of yourself. And this is just my opinion. I'm not setting out rules for everybody. This is what I've learned as I've evolved throughout my journey, is that you just have to be careful. Do you feel yourself feeling falsely more empowered because you have on a certain item, or better? And that's what you have to watch out for. And you have to say, why? Why do I feel better because of this? Is it because of the images that are fed to me, or is it because I know this is expensive and not everyone can get this? And why would it make you feel better to have something that make you feel better, because everyone can't have that? And it's like, which they could if they really put their mind to it. And the only thing that holds us back is just our way of thinking,
But the truth is, everyone will be cooler if they get this shirt.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now that's an exception right there. No, I get it. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with branding, and there's nothing wrong with supporting. Like I say, I need to buy one of those shirts because I want to support you, and it's for a good cause, and I know I'm helping someone, and helping them reach their goal, and that's an expression of you. So there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong, like I said, with fashion in general. Just be very careful with why, placing really your identity and your self-worth based on someone else's name, because they put a price tag on it and it's their name on it to make you feel better about yourself.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's how a lot of things are marketed. When you watch commercials and things like that, is to tap into that insecurity of people, and that people that are looking for an identity, or looking for some self-esteem, something to help boost their self-esteem, they capitalize on that. And that's just what it is. It is what it is. So, and that's how they get us to buy into their products and brands. And that's just what it is.
I want to ask you, do you write all your music?
Oh yes, every
Really?
last bit. Oh yeah.
Wow. So how does it come to you? I mean, because I know how it is to configure guided meditations, and it could take me 30 days to configure a guided meditation. The lyrics are not the issue. It's putting it together for me, where different words need to be different places, whatever. But to write all those lyrics, it just comes to you in one swoop?
No, not in one swoop. Sometimes it depends on. Basically, I let the melody of the music. There are songwriters, like I've said before. I'm not sure on your platform, your show, but I've said before, there are writers out there that develop their own melodies in their own minds without any music. But I happen to be the type of writer that I'm used to, and I'm pretty sure I can do that if that's how I geared my mind. But I happen to be one that gets instrumentals, and I consider them. I look at them like blank canvases. So I hear samples of instrumentals that my producer sends to me, and I pick out something that I like. Or if he sends me a bunch of instrumentals, a group of instrumentals. His name is Aristotle the Great, by Aries Bedgood. And he's an awesome producer. He'll send me I'll tell him, just send. We have our system down packed now. I'll just say, send me some samples, and he knows exactly what I mean. And then he'll send me some of his latest creations, and I'll pick something out from it. Usually, there's one that stands out more than the other, and I'll pick something out, and I'll just vibe to it, and it just whatever that the melody. I just listen to everything, the strings, the melody, the chords, the drum beat, and however it inspires me, it usually gives me an idea. And there are times that I do get stuck, but I've been fortunate enough that I don't get stuck very long. Maybe for a day, and then the next day, it usually comes to me what to do, because I've been told I'm a perfectionist, but at the same time, I don't want to block that natural creativity by being too hard on myself. So I just let it flow. And of course we are our own worst critics. So there's always going to be something, hey, I think I could have did that better or said that better after the song is completed. But I'm learning to be a little bit more and more less harsh on myself, and just realizing that was meant to happen at that point. Now I'll do something different, and I'll learn from what I did last time and try to be more aware and conscious and do it on this one. And then it'll be probably something else that I feel that I could have done differently or better or whatever. Not necessarily better, but just different. Because better is in regards to songwriting, it's all in perception. Or one person could not like this certain melody or certain arrangement of keys or words. Someone else will. So I just try to let it flow. And I get oftentimes into like a meditative state where I'm just alone and I'm just thanking, the universe for allowing me to be a conduit of creativity.
Okay, stay there. Stay there, right?
Yeah.
A conduit of creativity.
Yes.
Meaning that, at least what I think you're saying, something is wanting to be created.
Yes. And through me. Through us all. But me, I'm focused on me at that time, but through us all, something wants to be created.
And that which wants to be created cannot be created with the knowledge in our head. It has to be created based on the intelligence that which wants to be created knows.
Yeah, so to speak, we tap into a higher power. We're all connected to this higher power, and so we're tapping into it.
And since our this mind, our knowing mind, our intellectual mind, doesn't have the how, it looks like to me the more we lean into flowing with what wants to be created, it does it through us effortlessly.
Absolutely. The key is to, just like in meditation, the key is to silence the mind and to get out of your own way. And that's what I'm learning to do in the process of writing music, is get out of my own way. So I don't have to go in here and think to myself, well, I have to know exactly what to write. I can go in there without any idea and just let that music play and just, like I said, get into this open, welcoming state and just welcome whatever comes. And it doesn't mean that the first idea that comes to me that I'm going to stay with that idea, but it's a starting point. And I can go from there and say, no, I think I know that there's something different that's going to come from this. And then it just, it's.
Oh, can I tell you something?
It just comes.
Yes. All right. So creativity is that some people call a process a problem? Oh, somebody needs to hear that. Just because something is a process doesn't mean it's a problem.
No.
But because something takes a process, like creation takes a process, we think something in the universe doesn't want me to have it. Because we're looking at a process as a problem, as problems, where if whatever we thought we wanted to create, boom, we want it overnight. Literally, we really don't want it overnight.
No. Usually what I've learned too is if I can elaborate on that just one bit is it's ironic, but it usually the more difficult that it seems that to get to a certain goal, the more sustained that goal is. A lot of times when things come super easy, they crumble apart and dissipate quickly. So it's just it happens that way. That's why I say,
And,
like, go ahead. Sorry, go
no,
ahead.
no, no, no. Go. Say
No, I
that.
was going to say, even building, relationships worthwhile, you go through a lot of adversity and a lot of learning, and as long as you're, you know, aware and self-reflecting and learning and going through this process, you're building this strong foundation and this structure versus something that seemed like it just came together quickly and everything seems just beautiful right away on the surface. It rarely stays that way. So, and that goes, you can equate that to and compare that to a lot of things like building. When you're building, the longer it takes you to build a structure, is why the pyramids are still standing now. They didn't just build those overnight. What people don't realize is they often took years and years to build one pyramid. They didn't just build it in a few months like we can put up houses now in a few months. They took years to build those pyramids, and now they're still standing.
Like your music, like your music and your success and the platforms that you've been on, and when things open back up, you'll be back on. And platforms you're on now, just different ways the universe is moving you around, but it looks like boom, overnight. But
No.
only a creator knows that
Yeah.
is working with the universe inwardly. Loot, I swear to you, nothing you see based on this platform here, I planned nothing, zero. One thing led to the other, and still one thing is leading to the other.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying that ride. I really am, because at one time I wasn't awake. I wasn't conscious. I wasn't conscious of the pieces and the dots.
Yes. And you say dots, you can use other terminologies for that too. It's like as long as you're open and you keep leaning, I don't know if I'm describing this right, into that direction, the next step will be revealed. You don't have to struggle and wonder, well, what's going to happen next? Just let it naturally flow. And it may not move in the way that you consciously want it to. You can't force it. So I've just noticed that the more I get out of my own way, I'm not saying don't apply any action, or anything like that. I have to put forth some effort and some action, of course. But when I get out of my own way, instead of trying to take control of everything, I got to plan it this way. There's nothing wrong with planning and being organized. That's not what I'm saying. But allow it, embrace the what you perceive as the ups and the downs, and know it's part of the process to get you where you want to go. No matter how much time, that you're giving it, Um, you know, because even with myself, there's been times where I've said, man, I'm not on this level yet, of the level of this guy or that guy. Well, everybody has their own journey. So I had to stop comparing myself to other people, stop comparing myself, making comparisons um, as to where I feel I should be right now. Now, everybody wants advancement, but advancement at a certain time and gives themselves goals to reach certain things at a certain time. That's fine. But when you're just going with the flow and you know you're doing all you can, uh, besides killing yourself to get to where you want to go, you just have to relax and let the process just unfold and just do what you're doing. You know, keep sharpening your crafts, doing your reading, your studying. Look, when hunches come, act on them, try them. That door might close, okay, but just know other doors will open up as long as you know that. Because I'm a strong believer. Whatever you think, whatever you believe, that's what it is. So it's to be.
I believe that. And I believe that, like listening to the lyrics of that song, how you want to share what you're learning.
Absolutely.
See, if people understood what enlightenment is, or at least, or awakening, or Christ consciousness, or our Buddha nature, or whatever they want, Holy Spirit, our spiritual nature is, it is still. It is that stillness that it's not attached or detached. It's not judging. It's here right now.
It just is.
It just is.
And we touched on that uh, last time we spoke. It's like, yeah, it's nothing attached, no label, uh, preconceived notions attached to it. It just is. It's just is. So
I have a feeling, no matter what how we believe, but I have a feeling no one or nothing can speak for it.
absolutely, everybody can just give their perceptions and their opinions, and that's why I'm careful when I say I'm not giving like this instructional handbook for everybody. I'm sharing with you from my level of consciousness of what I feel that I've learned, and
Mm.
hopefully that inspires someone. Really, I want to. I don't want. I'm not in a position where I feel like I want people to just listen to everything I say, but I want to inspire them to think for themselves.
Mm.
And if they can become enlightened by something I say in the process, fine. I'm enlightened all the time because I'm looking for it. I'm consciously awake and looking for it. I might miss some things, but I'm awake. So I'm looking for little things that happen here. Okay, I learned this from that little thing. I just okay, I perceive that. I'm 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 not closed off like I think I know everything or I've learned a certain way and that's it because it's working for me. I shut everything else off because in my opinion, I feel like if I'm not constantly learning and growing and evolving and expanding, then I'm withering away. I'm dying like a weed and I want to grow. And I want to grow like a tree, shed some of the old things like a tree does, shed those leaves and grow some new ones, in the process. And I think that's a whole different thing. Like we can learn from nature. Nature
Mm.
doesn't force anything. It goes, with the seasons and it knows what to do. And it's successful and it's taken care of.
Luke, can I tell you, for the last 2 years, a little over now, a little over 2 years, I think, I have just flow with life. Free fall trust. And I teach people if you're going to create something, There is no way out of stepping out first and then the ground appears. If you're trying to avoid that, it doesn't exist.
Yes. Because oftentimes people say, I don't know which way to go. Well, step somewhere and make a step, you know. And some people do need direction. Just like when I first started out creating the type of music that I create now, I was influenced by people like yourself doing, meditations and things like that. And that inspired me to want to do something like that. Like, I want to do something like that. But then it came, do it in your own way. So put these words that people put in meditations or in affirmations, put that into your lyrics, to your hip hop lyrics, your rap lyrics, and use the talent and the skills that you already have to create your version of what they're doing. So,
and Luke, I've never heard your type of music other than your music.
Yeah. And I would like to think there's more out there. It's just that we're not aware of them. But yeah, I get that often. Like, I haven't heard, any lyrics like the ones that the universe type rap that people call it different things. I have labeled it self-empowerment music. But yeah, that right there, you saying that makes me feel good. But at the same time, it makes me feel like, okay, I got more work to do, because I would like to hear more people, doing it. It's not making me feel like, oh, I'm the only one doing it. Okay, I'm special. I mean, we're all special, but at the same time, I want to influence other people to do it too.
That's Dr. King Kirby. He'll be on here probably next week. He's a great musician, teacher, speaker, great guy. Faith. I was born and raised in the church. Okay, so we've been on 43. Okay. So I'm not going to try to keep you over an hour, because I know you have a family.
Yes,
but I was born and raised in the church. Faith, to me now, not faith like what's your conviction or your faith or your denomination or your religion. I'm talking about faith like belief, beyond belief, but faith, knowing
it is.
Yes.
Before it physically is.
And resting there and being okay and rooted and living from that invisible place before any physical material evidence or physicality or manifestation or anything, being okay with that wave, like
regardless of the circumstances that you are now in.
Yes.
That's where the secret and the work is, really, quote unquote. The work is to be able to tune out, not necessarily tune out, but just to know that regardless of what this current circumstance is, this is what's unfolding.
And the only thing that is certain is that I am here, alive, conscious now. No narrative in my head is proof. Rather, it is only a conceptual reality. The only reality is what consciousness right now. Not, but what about tomorrow? It's not here. The only thing that is here is now, here, now, consciousness, awareness, life. It's not needing anything. It just is.
And it took me a while to get that. It took me a while to get that. Even when I first started waking up It took me a while to get that. I had to read that reminds me of the book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. I had to read that book. The first time I read it, I still didn't get it. I was like, what do you mean? I mean, this exists too. This exists over here too. This happened yesterday. That exists too. No, it doesn't exist. Only in your head or your anticipation as to what, but just right now, that's the only thing that exists. 10 years ago doesn't exist. Only in mind. If everyone was to forget past a year from now, you wouldn't remember 10 years ago, or if it wasn't written down. Now, granted, looking back is a good thing too. Oh, go ahead.
Did we share? Did we share it and stuff? I forgot.
I shared it on my page.
Okay.
Yep, I did it on both of my pages. I did it while you were running the commercials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm listening.
No, I was saying it's still good. You can look back and to learn things, but not to identify yourself with, continue to identify things that drag you down. You have to know that I'm here now, and what has happened then, that has all contributed to the growth the evolvement and the expansion that is here right now. And we have to learn to build ourselves up in that way. And instead of dooming ourselves to be shackled to some past events or some things that haven't even happened yet, the anxiety that we feel about what hasn't happened or what may happen.
So anxiety is a misuse of the imagination.
Yes. Yes. I've never thought of it that way, but absolutely.
It's predicting the future without any power to do that.
And
what's that?
Oftentimes imagining a worst case scenarios based on something that has happened in the past. So we, in essence, recreate that same thing because our thoughts are very powerful.
And then life ends up making everything okay. 95% of the things we worry about never happens. Psychology says that. It never happens. But okay, so I want to play that little clip of that music. It's like 60 seconds. And when we come back, can you give us I don't know, maybe some type of meaning behind where that came from?
Okay.
Those words, okay. We'll play that and that'll give you a little break if you want to get some tea or coffee. And we'll be right back, guys. So enjoy this little bit here and we'll be right back. Listen to these lyrics.
I love who I am, a person that teaches like a university, growing through my own while I help you face adversity, finding out what works for me. As I do, I share with you, changing your perceptions. Now everything works for you. Can I motivate you? Can I show you what I'm learning? Can I share with you my thoughts? As far as life is concerning, we are alive. My intentions are for us to thrive. I can never hate you. All I want to do is motivate you. We are alive. My intentions are for us to thrive. I can never hate you. All I want to do is motivate you. All I want to do is motivate you. Help you stay focused so you can see your way through. Closer to your goals as everything unfolds. And you will find success in the visions that you hold.
I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, that basically those lyrics are very personal. They're basically saying that as I'm going through life, facing adversities. You know, I'm motivating, motivating and inspiring other people through my own battles, and that I am no different. We're all facing something and things that I'm learning. And as I'm learning how to navigate and go with the flow and embrace and different, you know, ideas and mindsets to make this to help encourage this, you know, the flow of life and less resistance and less depression and less disappointment. As I'm learning these things, I'm sharing through my own encounters is what I'm basically saying, you know, because and hopefully, you know, someone can relate to it, you know, when we go through things with family, with our children, and you know, things that we don't even want to speak of because we're like, oh, I failed here, I failed there, I did that. Well, you can't stop there. You have to pick yourself up and keep moving and keep growing and learning from those experiences. And we have to also realize that we're not in control of anyone else. So just because we're growing, we can't force other people to see that and to get right on board with us. We have to just, you know, see them for who they are and try to be positive and send them good, you know, thoughts and keep moving and working on our own selves. And as we do that, things will not only be shown to us, but it'll be shown to them, even if we don't witness it. Life has this flow that it's a teacher, and you know, people can call it different names, you know, reaping and sowing and karma and all that, but everybody will be taught, you know. So it's best just to go with the flow and embrace those lessons, whether they be in your perspective, good or bad, positive or negative. And I don't have all the answers, and I can't explain as to why everything or certain things happen the way they are, but everything is designed in certain ways and happens in certain ways, and it just is what it is. But all I can do is just is continue to work on myself. And as I'm inspired by other people, by information, by circumstances in life, and I have testimonies, I feel it's my duty to share with other people. You know, there's certain things that you can keep to yourself, certain goals that you plan on reaching or that you're seeing that you can keep to yourself until it manifests or whatnot. But you know, but as I'm learning and just different levels of consciousness, I feel it's my duty to share that as the same as the people that inspire me.
Do you? I was about to share with you earlier that there is a place in meditation. I like to describe it this way. We are in our own presence right now. The presence that is here right now is ours. It is us. Our own we are in our own presence. So that's hard for the mind to wrap itself around, because the mind first thinks it's its body. First, everyone thinks it's this. They look in the mirror, like you said, let me add this so I can feel better about myself, blah, blah, blah. But the presence of who we are is here right now, and we are in that presence. So at a point in meditation for me is when I am aware of that presence is me, that needs nothing, that isn't trying to become anything, that is not having to get anything done. It is completely acceptable embracing of all life. It is not broken. And when I reach an awareness of that, that's when I melt right into that. Because, like I said, spiritual egos too are out there where we think we need to attain something to become something. Well, the person who needs to attain it is the problem. The one that's seeking God, the seeker is the issue. We are it. And we're looking for it. So life just throws back at us what we are not as clues to who we are, to turn us within. Life is designed to turn us straight home. Ooh. See, having you on here just gets me like into this kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. What do you have to say?
Oh, that's absolutely true. And until I really start in my life looking within instead of placing blame on circumstances and other people. I'm not saying that other people can't be a hindrance or seem like an obstacle or a hindrance, but you, like you said, you're it, and you have to live your own life. So you have to figure that out no matter what the outside circumstances, the people, the situations. You still got to figure out a way to salvage your own life and make a life out of whatever circumstances are happening or have happened. It's still your responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility to live for you or fix you, or no matter what. I mean, we oftentimes we spend a lifetime in sorrow and in self-sabotage and feeling sorry for ourselves because of what we've been through or decisions we made or what other people have done to us. And that's really just a waste, and I'm not saying I haven't done it. So I'm not judging. I'm telling you what I realize now is it's just waste. We just have to pick ourselves up and figure out how we're going to get through this and how we're going to grow and evolve from whatever, from whatever filth. You got to realize even plants, they grow out of dirt. They don't grow out of anything clean. They grow out of dirt, soil. They've been buried. So I read a quote, I forgot who said it, but it says, when you feel like you've been buried, you've really been planted. So, yeah.
I think you are a powerful force in the earth.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual.
And with the climate right now and what I see 2021 perhaps kind of being like, I just feel like this is the best of times and the worst of times, but we need to pick a side. And those that say it's going to be the best of times for me because it's going to have to be. Otherwise, you just say it's going to be the worst of times and then just eat that. But the best of times doesn't mean that you're going to be comfortable. See, this is the trick. The best of times for me has been connecting the dots in reverse, which means probably my most uncomfortable time was the best of time for me. Because it was during those times I just was not aware that the universe was creating things through me effortlessly, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah,
but I was
oftentimes great things and the miraculous things that we look at as miraculous, or this change that we've been looking for, is preceded from something that seems like chaos, that seems like, oh no, I'm not going to make it out of this. But oftentimes that's That's what propels us, because you get to a point where you like, man, there's nothing else I can do. I've messed up so bad. So all you can do is look within yourself and figure out how I can just start piecing things together. And then next thing you know, it propels you to this new level that you didn't even know you had, because of that. And if had you not have went through that, or not going through that, you wouldn't be working as diligently, to get yourself out of that state, or for a change. So that's another thing, that how I'm looking at life is like, no matter what can I learn, and what is this trying to teach me, no matter what I'm going through. I'm not saying that I don't have natural human emotions and that don't experience disappointment and sadness. I'm not trying to say that, but then I'm quickly aware, okay, I've been sad for this amount of time. I still am, but I'm aware that I'm sad. But what can I do to maneuver myself to make a blessing out of this, to learn and grow from this, to help somebody else, to do, I'm looking for other things other than just focusing on the damage, or focusing on the unfortunate event, or focusing on the sorrow or the resentment or whatever. What can I draw out of this that will enhance my experience in some kind of way? And
People are needing to do that.
yes,
People need to do that.
like we were talking about this, what has happened, this past year with the the virus, or the pandemic, or whatever. I'm talking to a lot of people now that are starting to get it, because they're like, oh, I've learned to be more frugal now. I've learned to this now. I learned I don't need this now. I learned I did. And I like to hear things like that. I like to hear things like that. Becca inspires. Some of the greatest and most beautiful creations are born from sadness and pain. Exactly. And that's why even we can take it a step further. The people that we admire, as far as some of our greatest musical artists and things like that, you can tell that they've had a tormented life, but all this miraculous creativity came out of there. Now they allowed that unfortunately, a lot of them allow that sadness to consume them in the end, or some kind of way. But nonetheless, what they've been through propelled them, and it was because of what they went through as a child or whatever in their life that propelled them to the heights of the success that they've experienced, that they were able to enjoy. Now it's up to us to learn, and when we get out of those, especially those experiences, not to keep that a part of us, not to stay attached to that, so that it consumes us, and that it ultimately eats us alive. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of us do. We'll come out of that experience, be propelled, but then that experience is still swirling around and replaying in our head, and we're still doing things along with this success that's actually tearing us down at the same time. And that's what I see a lot of times, especially, with our public figures that we looked at them as geniuses. They still tormented themselves, because nothing outside of them was tormenting them. If you really think about it, it was their own self is in here.
Think of it.
Things.
It must have not been the lack of money,
No.
or it looks like the abundance of money didn't solve it.
Didn't solve it.
It was still the same pain.
It was in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're the only ones that can deal with that. And not saying it's easy, because oftentimes it's a lifetime to deal with, things that the trauma and ways that you've been programmed. Your brain is like a computer, and you've been programmed a certain way. It takes time to reprogram that. And oftentimes we don't forget. We just have to learn how to live with it. Because a lot of times people say, oh yeah, forget about that. No, if it's in your memory, and especially if it's something traumatic or something that it was a spike in your life and that really put an exclamation point on your life, oftentimes you're not going to forget it. So you just have to learn how to use it as a tool for growth and live with it and overcome it. And just put it in the back, fold it nice and neat and put it in the back of that closet. So that it's just there. It's not actively in your life. It's there.
I think once someone or a being, a living being, discovers who they truly are, then they know they're not their memories anyway.
Yes.
And a lot of times we remember things a certain way based on the level of consciousness that we were in.
Yes. Yeah.
Some things didn't even happen that the same way we're telling the story.
Yes. Like you said, you're not your memories. You're not your emotions. You are not what has happened to you. You are not any of that. All that's just extra layers that we take on ourselves, and we record certain things, things that happen in our life, we record it, and then we replay it, and then we hold on to certain things and let go of other things. And we're doing that, and that's why when you can get to that point, and I haven't reached it yet, but where you can just let these emotions, these experiences flow through you.
Might as well.
That's when you get it, when you can really have a blissful life, when you can just let things flow through you without attaching yourself to them. It just is. That's what it was at that time. This is what it is right now.
This has been good.
Appreciate it, sir.
This has been good. It's perfect. Perfect. So, Loot, what are you working on this? Did you start something new this year, or what's your latest?
No, remember I just told you I just finished the song, and you know what? I'll tag you as soon as I finished, as soon as I get it up and running. But I just finished the song, like I said, for this fashion designer, and it's a very entertaining song. It's
Okay.
not like one of my enlightening awake songs. It's just very entertaining how I did the wordplay with the lyrics in regards to fashion and all that. So it's a fun song. Yeah, I enjoy creating it. But like I said, at the same time, if you read the message that I'm going to put the write up with the video, you'll see, hey, enjoy fashion. Fashion is an expression. It's an extension of somebody's creativity. But at the same time, be careful, to not have to put your own self-worth and self-identity into fashion that someone else has created. It's not a bad thing. It's just you have to be careful. It's the way that you interpret it and the way you incorporate that into your life that makes it quote unquote good or bad. You don't want to be compulsive, obsessive, having to keep up with the latest things and all that, just chasing this elusive self-fleeting image that you can only find within here, and that's it. But other than that, it's a fun song. I don't want to speak too soon, but I met a young kid. I don't want to say his name yet until we get things going, but he has a lot of talent, and he's from Ghana, and he creates this Caribbean style sounding music, and I want to connect with him and see if we can put something together next. I want that to be on my very next project. I want to get this going ASAP. Why wait? I just finished this song. I haven't started my next one yet, so I'm going to be speaking with him tomorrow and see what we can put together and see if we can get some of that flavor infused into the music, to my music or our music. It'll be a project for us together. So, I'm just going with the flow.
That sounds awesome. Oh, that sounds really
get
awesome.
you to do something too, man. Something to do in my music projects, like and I'm thinking about it now that I'm talking to you. I'm gonna have to have you do like an intro where you just do what you do. Like you basically like almost like as if I'm just taking a segment of a speaker, just talking at the beginning of the, not even talking about the song. You know, you're just speaking just a few seconds.
Oh,
And
that
then,
sounds so good.
and then the song comes on, you know?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Or we can even take it further than that and give you a whole section of the song where it can be, you know, me singing or rapping, and then this middle part, all you doing is talking. And then we go back into the singing and rapping. So
Oh my God.
Do something like that.
That would be awesome. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we're gonna have to get behind the scenes and put that together. So see, I got 2 projects already. Right there. 2 projects right there. Yep.
Wow. Well, this was so fun.
Thank you.
And
I enjoyed myself as always.
Yeah, we always do. And tomorrow is Wednesday, and I chose a book of the month. I'm starting a book select, not every month, but at least January and February, I think. And this month, I've chosen Divine Work Play. So it's called Divine Work Play, written by Reverend Celeste A. Frazier.
Divine Work Play?
Yes.
Okay, never heard of it. I have to look it up.
And it's a 52-week course. So as a book, or sections, where it's 52 weeks. It deals with, well, basically, I'm going to have her on every Wednesday of the month of January, starting tomorrow, to take out sections of the book and speak about it. Like, she'll be in the seat you're in right now, and she'll talk about it. And next Wednesday and the following Wednesday and the following Wednesday, I think. And anyway, so that's starting tomorrow. But I don't like to advertise too much of a show too far in advance. I like to do it like the day of, maybe the night before, maybe, because you don't want to advertise a whole week of people and people just confused.
Yep, absolutely.
I'd rather just advertise one thing that we're focused on right now. But yeah, but I appreciate you coming, and it's always so good. These nuggets, and this video will be out in the world forever.
Absolutely.
After we're gone. And somebody's going to say, this is the stuff that they were talking about in 2020 going into 2021 during the pandemic, Wow. And this was their mentality. They're just going to accidentally come across this video. And then they're going to look up our names, and then look up the work we did, and then blah, 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 blah. That's how the universe does. Now, I'm predicting something that's probably 70 years in advance.
Yep. But that is how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's the beauty of live. Once I go out the air, it's on YouTube, Twitch, and all of that, Facebook. I don't have to do anything else but go to bed. I don't have to edit. I don't have to do anything. Everything they saw here, boop, is there. I would not have ever thought about doing that if it wasn't for the pandemic.
Yep.
See, it's the best of times if we pick a side. So I'm asking everybody to pick a side. So thank you, Loot. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. And those of you that like what you hear and you see what I'm all about, consider donating to my work. I'm making Where I Live a spiritual retreat, basically for myself, and to do all my spiritual work from where I live. The times have found us. We're home now. Britain has shut down completely now. You know that? Because of that new strand of COVID or something, some mutation of it. And now they're completely shut down. So it's like, but the universe and life leads you to do things and give you inspired ideas. And this is something right now, that a platform that I created it and called it Hakim's Front Room Chat, and it's evolved to more than that. So we're just rolling and rolling and rolling with what the universe is doing. So, but I still configure guided meditations and all of that sort of thing. And so your contributions and your donations would be greatly appreciated and used wisely. Thank you, Loot. We're over and out. I appreciate it. And you're the best. And thank you for letting me use the song.
Absolutely.
All right. Good night.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Let's see. Well, people, that was fun. Oh, what's that? So let's get that off of there. We had fun tonight with Loot. And I don't think we had any questions, but we had great comments tonight. And we will be back here. Oh, yeah. So tomorrow, whoops. That's what live TV does for you. I couldn't wait for that, so I had to get this remote. But yes, so tomorrow night we'll have Reverend Celeste Frazier on, because I started a book select, Divine Work Play. Divine Work Play. So Divine Work Play is a book, 52 weeks of basically directives, insight on a weekly basis. Reverend Frazier will be here tomorrow night, and she's going to take sections of the book and go through it and talk about it. So I appreciate her for doing that. She's going to do that every Wednesday in the month of January. All right. So that was fun. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. YouTube, I appreciate what you're doing. And people are subscribing every day. Appreciate that. And also, those of you that have donated and support what I do, I appreciate you too. God bless you guys. I think I'm going to play a little video here. I'm fishing around here. You can see me doing that. Loot, thank you so very much. That was awesome. All right, guys. Let me see what I'm going to play for you guys. I want to play my aunt's video, definitely. Let's play my aunt's video really fast.
What's your job?
My job is to sanitize, make sure the rooms are, I really take care of the house. And I keep this house clean and sanitized. I look forward to coming in every day. The first 30 days, I think I worked 20 straight days. I did. I worked 20 straight days because I wanted to see them get better and better. And it just made my day. As I go into a patient room, I introduce myself. I try to get their attention. I say, "Good morning, sunshine." I do, I really do. The first 30 seconds, walking into that very first room, I was a little nervous. I felt like a messenger to let them know that you got this. You're in good hands, and we're gonna do the best we can to get this, see you through this. It's made me feel powerful. I feel like I say, an angel. It keeps me going and going and going and going. I love what I do. And I feel like it was my calling. also take care of my nurses because their job is to save lives, and my job is to save their lives by sanitizing, keeping things clean and in order for them.
I love who I am, a person that teaches like a university, growing through my own while I help you face adversity, finding out what works for me. As I do, I share with you, changing your perceptions. Now everything works for you. Can I motivate you? Can I show you what I'm learning? Can I share with you my thoughts? As far as life is concerning, we are alive. My intentions are for us to thrive. I can never hate you. All I want to do is motivate you. We are alive. My intentions are for us to thrive. I can never hate you. All I want to do is motivate you. All I want to do is motivate you. Help you stay focused so you can see your way through. Closer to your goals as everything unfolds, and you will find success in the visions that you hold.